further ado, I call upon the Government and Prime Minister to take the floor.
No motion. Good. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Speaker, dear audience, today we have the motion that we would remove all legal barriers to genetically enhance humans. Now, first of all, we want to clarify something. This motion is not only about genetic experimenting, it's specifically about genetic enhancement. That's why we believe if you want to experiment on humans on whether something will work or not, that is not enhancement anymore, and we do not put the burden on ourselves to allow experimenting on humans on the side of the first government. The problem that we have in today's society is that we have available technology to improve the lives of so many humans, mentally and also physically. But because what we believe has been a demonization of genetical technology in the previous years, we believe that this technology, this knowledge, is being denied to a large part of our population, and we believe that this is bad. Now, what we're going to do on the side of first government today is I will talk about why parents have the right to decide on the future of their children, on the sex, on the color of the eyes, and then Mujtama will go to talk about why old people, like grown-up people, have the right to do whatever they want with their genes, and he will also talk more about the demonization of genetic technology. Now, first of all, children and their parents, and why we believe that parents should have the choice to do whatever they want. Now, in status quo, when you decide to have children, we believe that the formation of those children is not random. You have the choice to freely choose your partner on criteria such as wealth, looks, ability, or intelligence. And we say that this is a valid right, a right that you should keep. Now, we believe that if you have the right to decide on those things, because you can, we believe that you should also have the right to decide on other things, because the technology is there and you can do it. We believe on side first government that this is a simple extension of your reproductive right to choose of how your children should be most like. Now, in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, it says that you have a right to form a family as you think best fits you. Now, we believe that that you have the right to basically decide the color of the eye of your children or the sex of your children falls within that context. Now, why do we believe, no, thank you. Now, why do we believe on side first government this is good, that parents should have the right to decide upon how their children will look like? And we believe this is for two reasons. First is the acceptance, and second is the health. Now, acceptance first. For example, within some countries, or within some communities, it is very, very important to at least have one child of a specific gender. Now, we believe that this is because it maybe improves your status in the community. And as, for example, you're allowed to choose your profession to become a lawyer or a banker, and this improves your status and your pride within the community, we say that you're being denied the choice of maybe having offspring of a certain sex, because in some communities that is also something that can improve your status in society. Now, we believe that you're progressing in a certain community should not be random if it doesn't have to be so. Now, the other reason we have on the side of acceptance is that a lot of people have encountered a really specific problem because of a really specific condition in their childhood. For example, some people are really fat, or for example, some people, I don't know, maybe they sweat a lot or something like that. We believe because they might have really a negative memory of their childhood, they want to spare their child the same experience. Now, this is for two reasons. First of all, because they know it's going to hurt their child as it has hurt them, but also because they're going to be reminded over and over again how painful their childhood has been for them. On that point, I'll take the matter.
So you believe that if the parents think it is good for their children, they can force their children to have plastic surgery? Why is this any different?
Madam, we believe that it's different to have plastic surgery because then you're actually experimenting with firstly with a person that is probably already born, and you're experimenting on the looks of a person which he might have already got used to. Now, if you're experimenting with the genes, we believe that with children, you're most likely to do that before they're born, because all these conditions I've already mentioned is something that you know before you actually get pregnant, or the moment you get pregnant. Now, coming back to my acceptance point, we believe that also a lot of condition. Maybe they have lived in Africa and have been a black person with really black eyes, and they just want to, I don't know, maybe have their child have lighter skin. And we don't believe that this is necessarily good or bad, but we believe that this is a choice parents should have if they believe this will improve the quality of the life of their child, because all in all, we want the parents to do what is best for their children. We believe that if they think this is so, then they should let them do it. Now, the other thing is health. Now, first of all, we're saying about this that it allows people who might otherwise refrain from having children because they have a specific hereditary condition, as for example diabetes, they will choose not to have children. Now, we say that this is an option to basically make the choice to reproduct a little bit easier. We say that those people are not worth less, and we don't believe that people, just because of, for example, diabetes, should not have children. But because they want to spare their children a life full of pain, we say they refrain from, well, executing that right. We wanted to give them a life, an easier time. This is the first reason. Now, the second reason is, for example, that a lot of illnesses are really sex-specific. If the children, if the parents have the right to choose that their child is only going to be female or only going to be male, they can make sure that this child will not inherit that disease that is maybe with a 99% certainty carried on from generation to generation. And we believe that parents have the right to do this as well. And the general underlying idea of the first argument here is that if parents believe that something is good for their child, we should let them do this. We let them choose schools, we let them choose clothes, we let them choose what kind of friends they will be having. But we do not let them choose that their child will not be doomed with diabetes. So what I've told you today is A, we're talking about enhancement of humans, not only about experimenting, we do that on animals as far as I'm aware of that. But second of all, we believe that the genetic technology has been demonized, although it can bring so much good. I've talked to you about the acceptance of children and why parents should have the right to choose. I've also talked to you about health, and my partner will, as announced, go on explaining why the technology has been demonized without having to be demonized, and why all people should have the right to do whatever they want with their kids. For all those reasons, please propose.